media, sanctions, media. First, Iranians themselves are very technologically savvy. They're very connected. And we saw that in 2009 with the green protests. But so is the Islamic regime. So they shut down the internet. And what did some outside observers do? Well, first, Anonymous, that progressive collective, they tried to help some of the protesters circumvent the shutdown of the internet. Elon Musk, evidently, also offered his services. The American government, the Biden administration.
To whom?
To protesters.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, to protesters, not to the government. The Biden administration declared that it would relax some of the sanctions to enable access to some technological tools that the protesters would be able to circumvent the internet suppression. I find that cynical and hypocritical. If the Biden administration were truly concerned about the well-being and welfare of the Iranian people, and especially the women, it would end the sanctions totally, all of them, not just these tools to circumvent the internet. And it would revive the Iran nuclear deal. There was a very interesting article written by an Iranian-American, I think it was in the Los Angeles Times, and she raised the point too, that Iranians have been suffering for a number of years, for actually decades, under American sanctions, which has become increasingly more and more punitive. After Cuba, which by the way has been suffering for 60 years under American sanctions, Iran has suffered the longest, 40 years, and they have been very difficult on citizens themselves. There's a lot of research, Hami, that shows that sanctions have the worst effect on ordinary citizens. They do not necessarily dislodge regimes.
Right.
We've seen that in numerous places, Cuba being one and Iran being the other. But citizens suffer. And so for the Biden administration to say that we are supporting the Iranian people by lifting some of the technological tools, the sanctions on the technological tools, no, that's not going to cut it. Help the Iranian people alleviate the economic difficulties. Of course, some of the economic difficulties are definitely the result of governmental mismanagement in Iran, but they are also the fact that Iran cannot export and import easily. So end that, please, and then you will be on the side of the Iranian people and their welfare and well-being.